Yo, welcome to a new trade breakdown, everybody. Today we had two setups on EU. First of all, I sent in this idea over here, and that basically was the intention to continue it, to short and continue it to the downside, targeting either this low or the, I believe the 15 or the 1 hourly. Yeah, if you look at the 1 hourly, you can see basically this is an IDM. There is no real imbalance here, but you can expect this to be IDM. So that was my target. Me myself, yeah, I just have a new puppy, so yeah, I had a very short night and I fell asleep once we got this confirmation. So I missed it myself. But as you can see, it swept this liquidity and it barely tapped that zone. That's not an ideal something I want to see, but you can easily anticipate on a short here. And of course you want to have some patience, you want it to consolidate, and you can see this is a clear 1 minute low, which got broken. From there we had a pullback. From that pullback you want to go to your lower time frames. I should replay it a little bit because otherwise I'm lost every time. So here you can see we have a clean break and then we do a retracement to the upside. So from there you could be watching some kind of zone like this, or maybe simply just watch the 0.5 to the 1. Draw your fibs from the top to the low to the bottom, your 0.5, and you can basically watch this whole zone. From there you can, oh, that's the wrong one. From there you can go to your lower time frames, or you wait for a 50 second confirmation in that zone. But yeah, not really the cleanest confirmation right here, but you could enter something like this because you have a retracement into the zone and then you want another like 1 second to 5 second confirmation. You can clearly see this got broken, so this would be a little bit risky stop loss wise, but this would be better in my opinion to put your stop loss right there, because you're going off a pretty aggressive entry, and then you can target of course that low or even lower, this 1 hour low. So that would be a nice 8-hour trade. You could also wait for the next break right here, for example, and then I would be more confident on putting my stop loss above this high. Basically the same risk to reward ratio, not a lot of difference. So yeah, that's it for that opportunity. I saw some guys, a few take that, very nice done. You guys took it very clean too. So let's go to my break-even trade now. So once this got broken down to the downside, creating this breaker structure, I was looking for a retracement, and that retracement could be anything from this basically internalized liquidity. You can see we have some imbalance here and this high. So this basically would be my whole zone I would be watching. In this case, basically just see it as a liquidity sweep. We filled a little bit of imbalance. We took out all these highs over here, over here, over here, over here. So yeah, that's a lot of liquidity. And if you draw your Fibonacci from this high to the low, you can see we are in a premium zone. So that's very valid to short from. And from there again, you want to watch confirmation. So if you zoom into your 1 minute or 30 seconds, maybe a little bit cleaner in this case, right here, you can see we create a change of character. From there, I was looking for a pullback, and as you can see, this basically all got mitigated. So this is very nice price action. This one, basically this one. So this is efficient price action. So the next unmitigated zone that will be left is this one over here. And to validate it, you can draw your fibs from the high to the low, and you can see we are in a premium zone. So from there I waited for some seconds confirmation. I believe it was a 1 or 5 seconds, and I got in pretty aggressive because I got in pretty late too, because we already had a few mitigations and then a pullback. Where am I? It's annoying. So we play it now to this one. Let's go to the one right here. Right here, you can see we filled that zone. From there, we start a little bit of consolidating. So I was already preparing to get in when it broke down. And as you can see, we clearly broke down these lows. Change of character, only 1 second. Pretty much this is a little bit choppy, dead price action, but yeah, in the end that didn't matter. This played out very nicely because we created our break to the downside. We did a pullback around our entry level, and from there broke down again. So when I saw a breakdown right here, I was pretty sure I could go break even, and I went break even somewhere around there. I believe even before breaking it again. And from there I started zooming out to look for targets. I believe I targeted this low or even this one a little bit lower. The end goal was this lower one for a 12R. What did it actually do? It created some double bottoms right here. Like this could be a sweep on another chart. In my case, it's just a double bottom. So that means liquidity. From there, did a pullback. It filled this 5-minute imbalance. So if you zoom out to the 5-minute, you can see there was imbalance right here, which got filled. And then we broke down again. So that was my reason to go risk free, and I was still confident it would take out this low, simply because we are in a high time frame downtrend, or at least we are downtrending like since the London Open. And I like to trade with the trend, even with scalps. Trade with the trend that shows you that session. Like if you trade from a 1 hourly because that's bullish, and you enter on this 1 second, like the 5-minute trend can just be as bearish, can just be way bearisher than than that 1 hour bullish trend, for example. So a trend is a trend until it's over, and we are still downtrending here. So yeah, hence why I'm looking for short, and of course that liquidity on the downside right here. I just wanted to target that, and as we filled this imbalance, and I will go in with the next setup that was very beautiful, but as we filled a little bit of that imbalance, I was confident enough to short it. And yeah, this happens sometimes, break evens, sometimes you get swept double like this one, but I got a beautiful re-entry right here. I want to break down that with you right now. So let's zoom in on this imbalance right here, and let's delete this for a bit now so I can make it clear. Let's turn on this magnet right here. Boom, this is the end of the imbalance, and this is the start of the imbalance. So basically this is your whole imbalance zone. What? So a lot of times it just fills the 0.5 exactly of that imbalance, which is also the start and beginning of these candles. But yeah, if you draw your Fibonacci from that end of the imbalance, in this case, to the start, you can see that 0.5 exactly in the middle of these two candles too. So this line is a 0.5, the one I drew. Let's leave that for now, and let's just extend this line. me see what happens already. It perfectly tapped the 0.5. And it's also a, how do I say that? A concept of a lot of traders, like they enter from imbalances. But when they do, they often put their limit orders on that 50% of the imbalance. That's what I see a lot of traders do. And yeah, you can see it clearly works. But what we do is we always wait for some other kind of confirmation. And you know the reasons for that already. So I'm not going into that on this one. So from there I was basically watching for confirmation, because now I knew, like, I am swept, a lot of other traders are swept who were shorting here, and it swept, it tapped this imbalance, so a lot of sellers are coming in. So hey, maybe if you get a nice confirmation right now, we can short it again. And that's exactly what I did. So if you zoom out to your 5 seconds right here, let's take the drawing tool. You can see we're still uptrending, making a low. You could also mark up this as you charge, but yeah, maybe on the 50 seconds it's also more clear. Like, I prefer this one, but my bad, sorry. So, but yeah, this could basically be your charge, you change your character, and this would be your break of structure. Doesn't really matter in this case. If you mark up your change of character like this, yeah, you're safer than marking up like this, because this could just be a fake one, and that could just be a mitigation of this level, for example, in this case. That's why it also got that reaction, because we are still in an uptrend, and this can just be internal range structure. So from there we made a lower high again, and we broke down again, making this change of character / break of structure. And that's exactly where I entered, because I had enough confirmation we could go lower here. So I just took the risk, stops above, and yeah, I rode it very nicely to the downside. I'm a little bit regretting it. I did not hold to the low, but I was already 4% up, and I was very happy with that. So yeah, sometimes, like, it's also a thing about psychology and how you're feeling at that moment. Like, I had a lot of stuff on my head, and I was already watching it for like, how long was this? 20 minutes, half an hour, more than half an hour, almost an hour. So yeah, I was happy to take the profit and to leave. As you can see, it played out perfectly. How did I manage that? Well, you can see that on the 5 second. You see it break down with a lot of volume right here. Then it does a pullback, and from the pullback we started breaking down again. So that simply was my time to go break even, because maybe we just sweep this internal range liquidity, fill some imbalance, and maybe we reverse again to the upside. And this was maybe a change of character, but you simply don't know beforehand. That's why trade management is also so important. That's why I went break even when we broke this again. So this was my break even level. And from there I basically went, I used a trailing stop loss. I saw it come down here, sweep these highs. So this up move, let me see, let me draw that for you to make it more clear. You have a down move right here, and all these highs are liquidity. So when I saw it making this high, make a higher low, then sweep all that liquidity and break to the downside aggressively, because it took all that liquidity, all those stop losses, I put my trailing stop loss right here at this low. From there I was watching again, because it came back and it broke down again. So that's time to put your stop loss above this high, and so on and so on. So I believe once we broke this, or or this low. I'm not sure exactly anymore. I believe I anticipated on this kind of zone because it could easily respect it, and we could easily go higher from there. So I believe once it came back, I trailed it somewhere aggressively around here, but I ended up taking a 4-hour trade. Yeah, I believe I got tapped somewhere around here, and eventually I was regretting that because, as you can see, it just perfectly melted to the downside. But yeah, I simply was not feeling it. This was a 7.5, 8-hour trade. So yeah, a very beautiful trade. So yeah, that was it from me today, guys. I hope you learned a lot from it. Also about the 50% imbalance. That was a very clean example today. And yeah, that's it for now, guys. I hope you learned a lot from it, and I'll see you on the next one. Ciao, ciao.